All right, let's get right into it, bro. So, wait, how'd you actually like get into numerology and everything? Like
9/11.
9/11.
9/11 was the turning point in my life. I woke up, saw the Twin Towers going down, and I thought I was watching a Bruce Willis movie, Die Hard.
You were in New York?
No, I was in Cleveland, Ohio, but I saw it on TV. And I thought it was the movie Die Hard, and then when I realized what happened, I went outside, smoked one for everybody, that lost their lives, and then I saw there was Flight 11 that hit the World Trade Center on 9/11. I'm like, that's interesting. And then I started thinking, wait a second, the police code for emergency is 9/11. And then I'm like, wait, let's go into all the facts. New York's the 11th state in the Union. New York City, 11 letters. Afghanistan, 11 letters. The Pentagon, 11 letters. I'm thinking, whoa, what the hell is this? And then I started looking at more stuff, like the Twin Towers look like an 11 side by side. They both have 110 stories.
Yo.
At this point, I'm like, okay, this is no coincidence. And basically at that, I saw smoke. I didn't know where the fire was coming from. But at that point, I realized someone's doing something on purpose. I just didn't understand why. And then that's when my love of history came in, because I always loved history. That's, by the way, something you kids nowadays are lacking. World War I ended on 11/11 at exactly 11 o'clock. They're still firing bullets at each other at 10:55. At 11, they stopped. So as soon as I connected 9/11 to that event, I'm like, someone's doing something on purpose. I just didn't understand why. There's no books on the subject. There's no the internet's just not what it is today back then. There's no research on this. No one's talking about this. And, most people thinking, this dude's crazy. And then a little bit later, I figured out that Al-Qaeda was founded on August 11th. That's the one they blame for 9/11. And their two other biggest attacks in Spain and India both happened on March 11th and July 11th. What do you know? Still a coincidence, huh?
What's the power of 11? Like, why would they do that?
11 is a master number in numerology, and it's also emotional energy. So when you have 11s all over the place, you can expect people to be more emotional. And that's why they have these terrorist attacks under 11 energy, because they know it'll get the people riled up.
Were there like ancient societies into numerology, like the pyramids and that kind of stuff?
Of course, people in Babylon, when it comes down to, Atlantis, this is all they used. Because this is for you people to understand what numerology is, it basically represents energy. There's some people out there who can read auras. There's some people out there that can look at you and see what is magnifying off you. And based off the colors, it will be able to say what type of mood you're in, if you're trustworthy, all that other stuff. But here's the thing about numerology. We don't have to see those colors. We don't have to see auras. As long as we can interpret the numbers, they will tell us what the energy is. And whenever it's an 11 day, you expect people to be emotional. 11 is also a number of charisma. So people who are born on the 11th tend to have a lot of charisma. There's two ways to be 11s. You can be born on the 11th, like the top podcaster in the world. What's his name?
Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan!
Oh.
The top guy in the world is born on August 11th. He happens to share the same birthday as the top wrestler of all time, Hulk Hogan. The real American hero, he was born on the 11th. So again, it's generational. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just one generation with that birthday, it's another one too. Who is pretty much the top guy when it comes to streaming in Miami?
Sneeko. Aiden.
There you go. Aiden, and when's he born? On the 11th. So when it comes down to it, people who are born on the 11th have natural charisma. You might look at Aiden and be like, whoa, how did this guy get on? He's not really talented. But people are drawn to him because he's born on the 11th, and that's why he's in that position.
So, like, what about all the people born on 11th that don't have influence? Are they just, like...
They're not using their abilities to their potential.
So they basically, like, have more potential because they're born on the 11th?
100%. Candace Owens came out of nowhere and did it. Candace Owens was not a plant. Candace Owens was not manufactured, and she was born on the 29th. What's 2 and 9?
11.
There you go. Now, it's not just when it comes to people who are influencers, because I just don't want to go there. Let's go to things that are much more important than influencers. Would you agree that the president of the United States tends to be a little bit more important than these influencers we're talking about?
I'd say so.
Okay. Barack Obama, born 8/4/1961, 8/4/1961, adds up to 29, 2 and 9 is 11. What does that tell you? that tells you that Barack Obama, probably the guy with the best mouthpiece since John F. Kennedy, and John F. Kennedy's born on the 29th, 2 and 9 is 11, is an 11 life path. Who else is an 11? Do you remember, you might not, but there's a guy called Ronald Reagan. He was the Republicans' messiah, and Ronald Reagan was an 11 life path. Let's go to Joe Biden is an 11 life path. He's old, but if you look at his past, he used to have a lot of charisma when he was a lot younger.
Do a lot of like so numerology is typically with a lot of like these feminist whores, but like
100%.
What do they have any of it right, or they have just a whole different version of it?
No, they just make stuff up. There's no accountability. You understand? When I tell you something, I'm throwing a birthday. I'm throwing an event behind it so people can be like, yo, look it up yourself. Don't believe me. Look it up yourself. I'm actually being accountable by telling you what I believe and then giving you information to back it up. There's no accountability with these women. So obviously, they're not going to give you the same. They're going to tell you, you're going to meet someone with the letter S on Tuesday, and it's going to be a wonderful day.
Some bullshit.
And guess what? The sun's going to come up tomorrow, too. So, again, there's a difference between what I do and what these broads do, okay? I'll give you an example. One time I checked this woman. Her name is Allison. She's been a numerologist for 40 years. And she is selling matchmaking advice. And again, I have no problem with it. Capitalism's wonderful. If you have a skill, sell it. The thing is, she's divorced 3 times. So if you're selling matchmaking advice and you're divorced 3 times, don't you think that's kind of, fraudulent?
Yeah.
Okay, so I check her on this, and she tells me I hate women. Again, no accountability, no nothing.